I think I'm about to get made redundant. Let's do this. Hi, how are you both? Okay. I feel like I don't know what I've just done. Okay, I feel like that was not as bad as I was expecting it, but maybe it's because I was expecting it. They just kept asking me like if I had questions, and I'm like I don't have questions because oh my god, it's so overexposed in here. I'll just go down here. I don't have questions because I kind of like expected it. It kind of like I think it's just gonna be hard, and I don't even know if I can like let me adjust the light. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm actually gonna be able to like share this online because it's obviously like confidential, and but the thing is like I knew that if my manager was to leave, there was going to be like something basically happening with my role, which is like sad, but it's also like the role hasn't been what I wanted it to be for like a long time, and I don't know, I feel like I don't really have that much of a feeling for it. Like I'm not thinking I'm so sad. I've been grieving the death of this job for a while, and 2020 really just like didn't make us any, favors, and I have pushed as much as possible, and I know I performed really well in my job. But I'm one person, and at the end of the day, if a business doesn't feel like that is a good venture, there is not very much that I can do as like an individual to fix that. And that's just like the reality of corporate life. I think like when I spoke with friends before about redundancy, a lot of the time people were saying to me like that they were feeling like it was like they felt like a bit embarrassed because they lost their job and it was a reflection on them. And I think I don't really have that. They stressed that a lot during the meeting. They said like it's not your performance, and I'm like, I know it's not my performance because I perform, I know what I've done, and so maybe that's why I'm not taking it as like personally or like like stressed. Of course it's like a consultation like at this point, but I do think that that's going to happen inevitably. So yeah, so there's that. I'm going to just give a call to my manager and like have a chat with him and see what he says. Okay, so it's been, don't know how long it's been. It's been about like an hour and a half since I went into the meeting, and so I think I was like, I'm just like recording this because I want to like actually see myself through the phases after this has happened. So the first thing that I did was call my, well, still manager, but soon to be former manager, to have a chat with him about it. And it was, it was fairly chilled. I feel like there has been like a lot of things that didn't work in our relationship, but like the majority of things did. And I think what's most important is always the fact that there is like respect and like actual kindness, I suppose, to one another. So I just called him and had a chat with him and just, told him obviously what happened, although he probably had like a little bit of a hint about it. And some things actually I don't think he necessarily knew fully. But it was kind of strange because obviously like he hired me and we've been in this project together. And I think what's strange, or what feels like bittersweet, is the fact that both of us were like really just invested in this project and we really believed in it. I especially believed in it because of my background in events and things like that. And I was honestly so proud that we made it through the pandemic. And really sad to see that actually, despite all the efforts, we are not, moving forward, and we're not being able to like continue doing what we've been doing, and potentially, like continuing growing. So that is obviously bittersweet. I would be lying if I said that I didn't see it coming. I think, obviously without disclosing anything that is confidential, we've been in discussions to do certain things and like try to do like projects and stuff. And it was becoming clear that the business priorities weren't aligned with that. And I think that's fair. That's just like something that happens in corporate. It's only harder when it means that obviously your own situation and work situation changes as a result of it. So I had the conversation with him, and then I actually asked him some advice on something that I needed to do in terms of my future and my future career, and like just some training that I'm looking to invest in. And then I called one of my best friends, because she's been like literally on hold, like holding my hand through this whole stressful week. And I think what I want to highlight is that for me personally, the massive amount of stress that comes from these situations is where I don't know what's been going on and what is going to happen. I think the moment that I know what's going to happen, I go into like, fine, okay, I'm on planning mode now. I know what's been, what I have to deal with. I know what monster I have to fight. I know what I have to do. Or I can find out what I have to do because I have an idea of what's happening. But when you're kept in the dark and when you're not told, and I understand this is obviously done because there are procedures in place, but when you're not told something and you know something is coming, that's when really the anxiety for me sets in, and it's just like paralyzing. I cannot do anything, I can't think of anything, and it becomes really stressful. So I called my friend and I told her what the situation has been. Again, like, I don't know if I'm going to share this, but actually I'm not going to share it right now, because there is a reason why I am reacting the way I'm reacting to this news, and I will tell you about it. And I don't know in which order, which I should have probably thought, but I really wanted to record like a raw reaction to the news. So I feel like I'm obviously in a privileged position to a certain extent, but I also think I have definitely like put myself in a strong position, and I've been reading the signals and doing the work and really just paying attention to what's been going on, so that this wasn't a surprise. It was still a little bit of a surprise. Like, I wasn't, 100% sure this was going to happen, because there were like different ways to go about it. But I think at the end of the day, what I'm feeling right now is a slight, I'm feeling relief because I know what's going on. I'm feeling bittersweet because this is like something that it was important to me and has been like a really big part of, like my journey and my past 2.5 years. And then I also feel sadness because this is the end of my publishing career as I have known it. And this feels big. A lot of my channels talk about publishing, and I don't really intend to stop doing that. I think this is, if anything, it's a really cool thing to be able to talk about, and a really cool thing to be able to give a face to the way that career fluctuates, the way that things go and happen in your life, and what you can do about it. I'm very excited to see what comes next, and and I feel it. I feel the smile coming up. I feel so grateful that I am supported, and that I have done so much work on myself, and that I have been able to receive this news with the most positive mindset that there is. I know that this is not the case. I know that many people that have to deal with redundancies aren't in the same situation. I know people have families, and I do too. I do have a family to support as well. But I know I'm lucky because this is happening to me now when I'm young and I've got a whole career in front of me. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that this is just like me being the bigger person or me being so great at taking the news. But this is my story, this is my experience, this is what I'm going through now, and I'm proud of me. I'm proud of the fact that rather than completely crumbling, because the career that I've poured my heart and soul and blood and sweat and tears into it for the past 10 years has come to an end, I am able to see this as a new beginning for me, whatever that's gonna bring. So yeah, still digesting, obviously, still processing. I'll try and record as much of these clips as possible because I think is going to be hopefully like interesting to hear, and also just to document. This is more for me. I love you if you're watching, I really do, but this is also for me to document such a big moment in my life. Good morning. Please ignore the mess that is around me. I am going to make myself a coffee, and I have got about just like less than like 10 minutes to show up to my second meeting for redundancy. I don't remember where we got to when we talked about this. Actually, why am I making a coffee? I was gonna go and get a coffee later. Or am I still go? Right, I'll just leave the coffee. I'll just get a glass of water, but essentially, this is the second redundancy meeting, and I don't remember how like far I got in my story the last time. This is I think at least like a week and a bit after the last clip that I filmed, because we went to Spain on holiday, and yeah, like it was really nice, minus having to deal with emails coming through and just like, yeah, basically like questions from the company and like having to sort things out. So that was not nice to like deal with on holiday, but everything else was okay. I don't know how I feel. I've had like a meeting yesterday with our union representative, which was somehow helpful, but I've got to be honest, because I have done so much research and I've prepped myself, and I have also had a call with my sister-in-law, who's an employment law solicitor. I didn't, you know, it didn't really add a huge amount, but I would definitely recommend people do that if you don't have that support. But yeah, I'm just about to go into the meeting, and quite frankly, I don't know that I care that much at this point. Like, I literally just got dressed. I didn't even put makeup on. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just gonna show up. I literally put a little bit of concealer because I had like a pimple and it was bugging me. But I am at that stage now where it's like, I just want to go through it, and then I want to be free, and I want to just enjoy summer, because it's been a roller coaster of emotions. And the fact that I'm going through it with a colleague who's also in the exact same situation has definitely helped, because we can like talk about like how we feel and the things that are happening, and it's just like making the whole experience less lonely. But then at the same time, we're both like, okay, can this be over? So I'm trying to still approach it with the mindset of like, maybe I'm gonna learn something. But apart from like the things that I've actually learned because I researched, I don't think I'm learning anything from these kind of meetings. They're very bland, but let's see how this is. Maybe this is gonna be different. So anyway, I will do the meeting. I'll keep you with me. And I'm obviously not gonna share any confidential information. And yes, I will speak to you in a bit. Actually, one thing that I didn't say is that I did prepare a few questions, and I'm just like gonna go through them. They're mostly like around comms and how to like inform people and things like that, so nothing major. But yeah, those are the kind of things that I'm gonna probably be focusing on. So